When doing 2 installs, I feel like usually one is gonna go super smooth and the other one kind of freaks me out. What is going on, guys? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today we're back in the garage tent working on the Civic because we need to do 3 more parts before we can actually drive the car. The last 3 parts we need to do is coolant piping, ball joints, and the shift linkage. I have most of the things here. I'm waiting for my shift linkage parts from Honda still, which has been like a month now I've been waiting for these parts to come in. But the 2 things we're doing today is coolant piping and ball joints. Now, I'm not too freaked out about the coolant piping because it should be pretty straightforward. The thing that's freaking me out is doing the ball joints because I don't want to break anything else in my suspension because, well, that's a possibility when you're doing stuff like that. Today we are running, it looks like this G Plus coolant hoses, and I think I got these off of like either Amazon or eBay and they weren't too expensive. And you know, they're all shaped, so it should be pretty straightforward to see where these go, but you should probably look at diagrams anyways to see where things actually go. One of the things about this radiator though is I don't really have any of the mounts for it. I don't know what happened. You can see that like this is broken, so this is broken before I actually took it out, so we're going to have to probably make something to hold it still, but it should be generally pretty easy to do this. So unfortunately, we already ran into our first hiccup. So the pipe they sent you from radiator to block is this one, and it's too long and curvy and it doesn't work. So I had to use the original one, which isn't ideal, but I can actually, like, you know, make it not kinked and everything, so it should work. The main 2 lines are now all secure and good, and now that leaves us with these, and I know where this one goes because the original one is like right there. So those other 3 we're still gonna have to figure out. Now I'm hoping that we have no leaks because that would really suck if we do. So gotta find out where these 3 go, but I know where this one goes because the original one's still there. Never realized how hard it is to get some of these damn clips off. The cool thing with like coolant hoses is they're not regular hoses and they are shaped. So I'm actually kind of figuring out where these go because they can only really go in one spot. So I found this one connects like through the firewall and goes to the thermostat, and this one probably goes under the thermostat, and this one goes somewhere else. Still learning some of these, but I think we're getting there. So that was the most unexciting install I've ever done in my life because it's coolant lines, and coolant lines are kind of boring. So I got the rest of them on. I'm waiting on an answer for one thing, but in the meantime, while I'm waiting for answers, I got this. This is kind of cool, right? So this goes on the breather port for the head. Nice. So at this point, I believe everything is good and tidied up. I do need to figure out a few more things for this engine, like how to do the throttle cable. But right now, I'm gonna run some water through the system, just regular water, to see if there's any leaks before I put coolant in there. And if there's no leaks, I'll drain it out and I'll put coolant in there. So we're gonna do a leak test just to make sure there's no leaks. So I just used water, used distilled water, and start the car up. The battery isn't fully charged, so I have to give it a minute and just charge it up a bit just so we can start it. But hopefully everything's good. Everything should be squared away here, hopefully. Let's try this one again. Something else is going on now. That was weird. Something wasn't sounding right, so I adjusted a few things, and let's see if that did anything. So we're just gonna try cycling through a little bit. And it died on its own, which is concerning. Really didn't think that coolant piping was gonna be like a long majority of this video. I thought it was gonna be a super short thing, but it turns out there's some stuff going on. So I found out that the LS manifold versus the B20 manifold do have some differences. Like they have, the B21 has some extra vacuum ports, so I tried closing one and I tried closing two, and then it was idling bad and then it died. So I think I fixed the issue, I hope. So we just have to test it again, check for leaks again. But that last time it did cycle and there is water in the lines now. So I know that the radiator should be good and I'm not seeing any leaks, but I still want to run the car a little bit more just to make sure it goes all the way through the block and see if it is leaking anywhere. But if it's all good, I'm going to start doing the ball joints next, which that one I'm kind of freaked out about. So I am having some sort of idling issue. Oh wow, I hate these so much, man. Get away from me, please. So I think I found my idling issue because it did die off on me, and I don't know. So pretty much on a stock CRV, which this engine comes from, this goes in there, this goes there, and I believe this gets plugged. We're gonna see if that works. I'm not sure if it's going to or not. If that doesn't work, I need to find out what that one thing I capped goes to, and that could be the reason I'm having idling issues. 99% sure one of those things is supposed to go into the canister, so I made a little bit of a line right here to go into the canister, and hopefully my problems are fixed so I can start it. The battery's still charging. Well, it was. I forgot I just unplugged it from my heat gun. So we're gonna try to start it again. Something's not right. So now she runs fine. So I'm just gonna let it cycle through a little bit, see if there's any leaks, and shut her down. But so far, so good. So there's no leaks. There was a little bit of white smoke, and I'm assuming that was because those headers were in the basement for a little while, and I'm assuming it's fine. I'm hoping it's fine. So what I'm gonna do now is start on the ball joints, and that is pretty much one of the biggest things that's holding me back. So throttle cable and the shift linkage is the last real things besides these ball joints. So if I get these ball joints off, we're golden. So I was just bleeding the coolant a little bit more just to make sure it was good, and I filled it with coolant, and I noticed some white smoke coming. And I'm also trying to do my brakes right now too, because I gotta take this off to get it off the arm. But I was doing the the bleed, and I noticed white smoke coming from my alternator side, and I noticed that the alternator belt was completely getting shredded. So we need to fix that belt before we can even drive the car too. So we're adding on to things we need to finish before we can actually drive the car, which is unfortunate, but we'll get there when we get there. So to get to the ball joints, you pretty much have to take the axle back out, and you have to take it off of the spindle. So that way the knuckle is free. But the thing is, I don't really know how to get to the other nuts, so I'm leaving the entire arm on, and I'm going to try to smack it out that way, because if you're like me, you're not gonna buy the tools. I really do like working on cars, and I do enjoy it, but when stuff like this happens, it is extremely aggravating and frustrating, and I feel like this car has been nothing but like problem after problem. So I'm soaking it in some WD-40, and we're just gonna try to use a little sledgy here and just smack it out. I know this is gonna be another situation just like the trailing arms, and I'm probably not smacking it hard enough, and it probably would be a lot easier if I take it off, but that one nut is in a weird spot, and I think that one might be collapsed as well. So I would definitely need a press, because I can't get the steering rack one off or the upper ball joint, so smacking is my only choice right now. Definitely messed up our heat shield a lot, but we can fix that. It's easy aluminum work. But we're getting it slowly but surely. It's coming out. This is exhausting. I've been doing this for like 20 minutes now, just smacking it, and it's coming up a considerable amount. So I'm hoping that it'll come out very, very shortly, and then hopefully putting the new ones in don't take that long. Who needs a press when you got good old sledgehammer, man, we got that thing out. It took forever. So now we gotta get the new one in. That was a struggle. Definitely one of the weirdest things I've seen, but these don't come pre-assembled. And you actually have to put the boot on yourself, and it just uses this weird like spring thing. But I've seen some like companies cut corners to save money, but I'm really wondering how much money did they really save by making me do this myself. So after we do this and get this on, we just got to hammer back on, and it should go on smoother than it did coming out. It's taking a while to put this damn ring on though, because I don't know why they just didn't do this. And I'm also thinking I got sent a broken one, because the one I got looks like this and it's straight, and then the other one I got is a little bit not, which is another drawback. So I'm gonna have to return this one because it's a little bit messed up. I gotta say, generally when I'm doing car stuff, I stay very calm, but today has been such a frustrating day. The coolant piping wasn't bad, but then finding out my alternator belt was being frayed for something, I have to look into that still. And then these ball joints, and frustrating day. And unfortunately I can't have this video finished today, which sucks, but we'll get the other side done, and we'll hopefully get the coolant stuff done, and we'll get everything done. Well, hopefully AutoZone can resolve my issue quite fast and we can get on moving again, because that's just the most frustrating thing when you're just trying to get stuff done. Stuff comes out broken, or stuff just doesn't want to work right. So hopefully it gets situated and we can get it all fixed up. I don't remember when I put my camera down, but that day I was getting very frustrated. So today I kind of just went to work, put both ball joints in, tightened everything down, got my suspension back up together. Found out the smoking issue, I think, was my power steering line was actually routed underneath my engine. I don't really know when that happened. It was probably when I put the engine in. I didn't really realize it was doing that. So that should fix the belt issue of it smoking out. So I'm probably still gonna need another belt, but we're gonna test it and see if it smokes anymore. So we're gonna do a quick start. So hopefully the engine don't smoke this time. That was kind of weird. I'm not seeing any smoke though, so far so good. I don't know why we're not really holding a good idle though. So I'm not seeing any smoke this time. We were spewing something on the end of the block here out of this hose. I don't really know what that is. I think it might be more power steering stuff. So I'm gonna have to take a look at that, clog those up, because that just sprayed all, oh, it's a mess down here. Everything seems to be good in here. I'm not seeing any smoke. The only thing I'm not sure about is if the fan is kicking on, but I just got told that all my stuff from Honda finally came in like 2.5 months later. So we can finally get the shift linkage in, so we can put it in neutral, just let it run out and see if everything works. And so pretty much, I'm gonna have to change out that belt eventually anyways, because it is starting to fray and I don't know how much load it can have. So we're gonna change that out, but not today. And also the shift linkage stuff, since it is finally into Honda now, we can wait. I mean, we can finally put that stuff on and get the shift linkage on, so we can actually put the car neutral and let it just run out by itself, and hopefully everything kicks on right, because right now I have to keep my foot on the clutch the whole time. But 2 things forward, 1 step kind of back, but we're getting there. So we got all of our coolant piping done, we got our ball joints done. Thing that we had to reroute our power steering and shooting out liquid, and I don't know where that one thing goes, so I'm gonna have to figure that part out anyways. And then the alternator belt, but we're finally getting there. So I'm gonna leave you guys off here. So you guys please me a few things. Comment, like, subscribe, keep doing the fun stuff, keep doing you, stay motivated. Catch you guys next time. Peace out and peace.